Welcome back to the Blues Focus TV. Today we are previewing the upcoming game between Birmingham City and Rotherham with my guest Matt. Matt, drop in your social media handles and we'll go from there.
So I'm from the New York Talk podcast, which is RUFC_pod on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you can find us, and follow us.
Fantastic. Well, straight off the bat, how do you think the game will go for yourselves?
Interesting. Your run of form is obviously very, very poor, to put it politely. We're in a decent run of form, but our away record is terrible. I think we won 3 games away from home this season. It might not even be that actually. But the games we did win, I think we beat Sheffield United, for example, away from home. It doesn't make any sense really, but it's something we need to work on. I think we beat QPR last weekend, and that might have just put us safe. Not suddenly some points, obviously, but it puts us in a really good position. Obviously, we took you guys to the table, which was a surprise to everybody. We're sitting 18th, which we didn't expect. If we turn up like we did against QPR, I think we can win. We'll have the positivity. The run you guys are on, I think we can try and keep your negativity where it is. We can maybe try and pounce on that a little bit. But like we said before we start recording, our record is terrible at your place, and our away record in general is terrible. So it's a toss up. I would take a point.
I've actually got a little bit of a quiz for you. Actually, a little quiz. So, do you know the last time you beat Blues at St Andrews?
It was something like 2015 or 16, something like that.
It's 2015 September. It was 2-0. Do you know the scorers? Because I've done a little bit of research and found out.
One of them was that Belgian guy. I can't remember his name now. I had a loan from Norwich. I can't remember.
He's the one I hadn't had a clue about. So it was Anthony Aru, but he pronounces it so different. And the other one was Matt Derbyshire, who played for Blues as well. So I looked, and our team was the getting over the Carson Young stuff, and I think Rabbit was our manager at the time. So it's been a long old time for you. But our last game, Richard Wood scored 2. And I mean, you put that bet on at the start of that game, you'd have got hundreds of thousands, because I don't think he ever scored before. And Blues turn up and he gets 2. Talk about buses coming along at once. It's ridiculous. But this is typical Blues. Though. Blues are renowned for having bad runs, and then we allow people to basically end them. Cardiff, for example, for our recent form. Cardiff hadn't won for 14 games, turn up at our place and win comfortably. Sounds about right for us. The last time out, you won 2-0. I remember that game. It was a bad watch. Just after my birthday, actually. So that was hard to deal with. Our head-to-heads again were quite good at home, but form goes out the window for me. I think this game is a 6-pointer. I think whoever wins this can start to feel a bit more confident about coming away from the bottom. But I think if one of us loses heavily, it could flip it completely on its head. Last time out for us, for example, against Wigan, some of the fan base aren't happy. But then if you give 4 points for the last 2 games, I think you'd be happy. But you still got to get them 3. So it's an awkward one. What's your thoughts on the season so far for Rotherham?
Solid. It's been up and down. Obviously, we had a change of manager in September, October time, whenever that was. Matt Taylor came in, took him a bit of time. It started off okay, and then post World Cup, we were just horrific. I mean, we were as bad between the first game after the World Cup and the FA Cup third round weekend. That was as bad as I've ever seen us at this level. We were so bad. We were shipping goals left, right, and centre. There was zero creativity. It seemed like there was a massive rift between players and management, but then we turned up on smashed Blackburn 4-0. So there clearly wasn't, because obviously
that was when I was looking for your results. I was thinking, how have you pulled that out? Because when we played Blackburn, it was probably one of our first or second best game of the season. We lost, and we gave them everything. It was. I remember I stayed in the log cabin that weekend and I watched it on a moody box, and I was like, I said to the missus, that was actually a really good game. Like, we did really well, but somehow we've got nothing to show for it. It's mad. Thoughts on your new manager? Have you got any hangovers from Paul Warren, because he was there for so long and was a big fan's favourite? Do you like the change? Are you happy with the change, and do you expect to see an improvement and a move forward with Taylor?
It's been bumpy. Like I said, before the Blackburn game, there was concern that it might not be right. You have one manager for such a long time, and then the change. I suppose you always expect it to be a bit bumpy, but we felt like we were barreling towards relegation at that point. We then picked up, like I said, beat Blackburn. We drew with Sheffield United, drew with Watford, and drew with somebody else who was up there. You wouldn't expect to pick points up from. And then we went on another bad run. We lost to Coventry. We lost to somebody else. We lost to Reading as well. 2 games we should be picking points up, and then the negativity started to build again. But then we beat Sunderland, drew with Swansea, beat
That's
QPR.
the one
so he seems a bit of a streaky manager.
About. Sunderland are a good team. They started our bad run after the World Cup and they beat us at home. But when I saw that,
they were missing Ross Stewart massively. There were no focal point from it all.
Looking at your formations, you seem to flip between 2 to 3 formations, maybe even 4. So I've got 4-4-3 against Sheffield United, 4-4-3 against Blackpool, 4-4-2 against Reading, 4-2-3-1 against Cov. Then it's 4-4-1-1 against Sunderland and Swansea, and then back to 4-4-3. Well, 4-3-3. Then a Todd Bowley there.
You 4-3-3,
So do you think the change, the flexibility in your formation helps or hinders you?
I think it definitely helps. Again, under the previous management, we were 3-5-2, and that were it. It wasn't any good to anything different. You might put an extra man in midfield or whatever, but it was going to be 3 at the back, 3-5-2. Matt Taylor, like I said, we changed. I think when we played Coventry, I think we changed the formation in game 3 or 4 times. Now on that day it didn't work, but then against Sunderland it did work, and against QPR it worked perfectly. He seems much more flexible. He seems much better tactically. And so far it seems to be working really, really well. Time will tell, but it seems a step in the right direction tactically, definitely.
Yeah. So I've just gone purely on stats, and I've got 3 players that I've picked out to watch for you. Who would your 3 players be to watch?
Well, Cameron Humphreys, centre half. When we're under the cosh, he's means something else. He came through Man City's academy, and you can tell he is so good on the ball. But he doesn't lose out. He's an aerialist. He's still very, very good. He's very, very composed at everything he does. I think he's destined probably for the Premier League. Maybe not top, but I think he's a Premier League player at some point. Chiwagben is the obvious one. We'll play probably the right of a front 3, but got pace to burn. Not scared to take on a man. Not scared to take the tackle as well. He rarely neshes out with it, which I think it draws the foul. He got about 5 people sent off in League One last year. It was ridiculous. It was so good.
That's what you want, that is.
Yeah, exactly. And Jordan Hugill is recent signing from January. He's such a focal point for us. Went to Sunderland, not having one. He's such a focal point. We do go too direct sometimes, maybe too much. But he holds the ball really well. Scored his first 2 goals at the weekend as well. So he's a proper Championship player, and that's what we've missed, I think.
So the 3 I had down was Coventry, Hugill, and Johansson, your keeper. So I had a little look on SofaScore, and Johansson got a 9.9 rating, and that was against Stoke. And I can remember playing against you. He's a cracking keeper. He really is a good keeper. Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't had someone knocking your door for him, to be honest.
Even more surprised, he signed a new contract at Christmas for another 2 years. He was at a contract in the summer. He is genuinely an international keeper in waiting. How he's not got an international call-up is beyond every Rotherham fan. He has got everything. He's also improving as well. Last season, he made 1 or 2 mistakes. This season, he's almost faultless.
10 clean sheets.
He's
for a small like you, he's good going, isn't he, to be fair?
Yeah, and he's earned a lot of them himself as well. He's had to do a lot of
work. How's Grant Hall been since he's joined?
Injured. When he's played, he's great. Grant Hall is such a good player, but he's probably missed half a season, and now he's out for the rest of the season. Yeah, he got injured a week or 2 ago. A shame, because he's a proper player. He is a proper Championship player, but can't stay fit for more than 5
Harry Redknapp wanted him a few years back for us and didn't get him. And at the time we were gutted because he was scoring goals left, right, and centre, and he looked quality. But there's some players in that team where you look and think, bloody hell, they can do a bit. So I don't think Blues are going into this game with any sort of inflated egos. by any stretch. I think Blues fans see it as a massive 6 points. I would probably say, because it's at home, it probably holds a slightly bit more weight than the Wigan game, because the Wigan game is finished and we know the result. I think before the game, everyone wants to beat the bottom of the league because they are bottom of the league. But you're on a hard into nothing because you expect it to win. But also, if you don't win, it's also bad. So you kind of lose on both. But when you're at home against a team that's next to you and your form is better than ours, granted, but we have a good record against you, you expect to get it. So I worry that if we don't do something in the 20 minutes, you could grow into it. And if the fans turn, it's open season for you. And I do, but after looking at your team and doing a bit of research today, I worry more about this game than I did beforehand. So, my confidence.
Our starts have been really good as well. Under Matt Taylor, there's a couple of games where he's just gone for it. First 10 minutes, he's gone for the kill. And sometimes it's not worked. Coventry, we had an early goal disallowed, and if that goes in, I think we go forward. But he does seem to like a quick start, and especially away from home. If we can get an early goal, like you say, it can turn, can't it?
Definitely. What's your realistic aims for the season?
Survival, and I think now the bottom three seem done. I realistically can't see any of those bottom three coming good. Huddersfield. I thought they'd have a bigger reaction with Warnock, which is not going to happen. And the other two teams, I think they're done. If we sit 18th at minute, if you offered us 18th at the start of the season, or we'd have snapped your hand off for that. That's such a good season. After all the yo-yoing we've done, we need to solidify. I feel like we should be fine now. Should. What's
been your best moment of the season so far?
Probably the Sheffield United away win, local derby against a team who they weren't top, they were nearly top. First time in 40 years we'd beat them at their place. It was just one of those nights that you just dream as a fan. Local derby, away win, local boy as well. Ben Wiles came through our youth academy, scored the winning goal in South Yorkshire derby. Just out of this world. The derbies are always the best, aren't they? When you win.
I don't think the fans of bigger clubs get that when you have been, and all you can think about is that one or two games a season. It's like being a Blues fan. It's been years since I've seen us beat the Villa, so I know that feeling.
Well, true.
Best memory as a fan.
What, altogether? Ever?
Altogether.
Oh God, there's been a lot because we went up and down so much. There's been so many. Last season when we got promoted, Georgie Kelly. Again, that was just a Disney script. We needed a goal just to confirm promotion. Georgie Kelly came on for his debut on the last day of the season and scored in the 82nd minute away at an open end at Gillingham. It was just chaos. There's nothing better than a promotion, and that was just perfect.
It reminds me of when Jude scored his first goal against Stoke. I mean, it took a wicked deflection, but that whole stand I was in, it was like, yes. The boy's done it. Yeah. Like he's 16 and he's done it. Like it's that little moment because Blues have been a shocking team for a number of years, so it's hard. But a little part of me is a little bit jealous because you've had the sadness, but then you've had the positive that comes after it. So I think fans don't want to be yo-yo clubs. They don't, but when they do, you have to enjoy the good points. And 100%. What I worry about is, our fan base kind of thinks, well, maybe if we go down, we'll have a reset and we'll come. I'm worried. Can always happen. Our ownership was a bit better, we were a bit more like yourselves, I think we probably could. But because of our situation, it's a little bit. I don't want to wish that. I'd rather just leave it to the one side and just try and keep in the championship a bit more and keep churning it out and try from there. So, last question, the big one. What's the score going to be?
I will take a point. I will take a 1-1. 1-1 probably suits us both. As long as the bottom three don't all win, I think a point works all round. So I'll take 1-1.
That's it, mate. Thank you so much for joining. Remember to follow, like, and share the podcast. I've been Josh. Thanks for tuning in. And please make sure you follow all Blues Focus TV related socials. Thanks for your time, Matt. And I hope you do well in the season, but just not Saturday, as you can appreciate. Cheers, mate. Thanks to you so much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.